Okay. So now let us see this one. 100 AWS DevOps issues and solutions. How it is. So issue one is inadequate knowledge and understanding of AWS services. So for whom it is coming basically from the people who are all working on the projects, there is a gap of knowledge. Provide training and education to the DevOps team members to enhance their knowledge and understanding of AWS services. This can be done through online courses, webinars, workshops, and training programs. This should be done when they initiate the project, not in the middle of the project. Initiation time only, they need to coach the people, train the people. Next one is lack of skilled engineers to manage and implement DevOps on AWS. This is the solution to hire the right people, select them, and deploy them. So the resourcing that is coming from resourcing part. Then organizational resistance to change and new technology adoption. Educate and inform organization about the benefits of adopting DevOps on AWS. Provide clear communication about the impact and benefits of DevOps, and get senior management support to ensure that the organization is aligned with the DevOps transformation. Before implementing, they are educating the different groups like QA group and DevOps team and Ops team. Okay. Now, unfamiliarity with AWS pricing and cost management. One of the DevOps engineer or Ops engineer role is to take care of the cost management also. Okay. So educate the team members about AWS pricing and cost management. AWS offers tools and resources to help you manage your costs, such as the AWS Cost Explorer, AWS Budgets, and Trusted Advisor. So let us say Cost Explorer shows the resources cost per month billing. The same way, AWS Budgets give, if we say this is the budget, this is the project, I'm using this, these are the resources. If you give it, it will give the budget estimation. Right? Let us say if you want to build one 3-tier architecture in 2 regions, then you have to give the specifications, whether it is east 1 or 2 or something, west 1 or 2, something like that. Then later, the trusted advisor also will give some kind of suggestions. You have to use these 3 tools to measure that, okay, for costing purpose. Then limited access to AWS support and resources. So use AWS Support Center to get access to the AWS resources and support. When you go to the account management, AWS account management, there is a support center basically. Okay, that support center can monitor what roles people are using for particular IDs. All those are going to be checked. The same way AWS admin will do by modifying the current ID, by giving access to different resources also. You need to coordinate with that. And AWS also provides online forums, documentation, and technical support to you to help you resolve any issues or problems if it is related to support center. Okay. Then you have difficulty integrating with legacy systems and applications. From here, you can see technical things. Use AWS services such as AWS Data Migration Service, AWS Application Migration Service, Snowball to migrate. Snowball is being used for data migration. Integrate legacy systems and applications to the AWS environment. So if you have legacy systems, what you are supposed to do, you need to integrate with clouds applications also. How you are going to do it? If you want to migrate data or some applications, there is a migration service. Migration service, what it does, you put one virtual machine in the private cloud setup. That virtual machine configuration, it connects it, and it is going to move into AWS. But it is a very slow process that need to be identified. Basically, if common missions are there, for the migration during on-premises to cloud, AWS cloud, you need to check the configurations, common configurations and common setup. Then you need to write Terraform scripts, and using that, you can. You got it?
Yes, yes. So first we need to verify the common
common technical specifications for all those things. When you have common specifications, means let us say if 10 systems are there, 10 Windows systems. In
Hmm.
10 Windows systems, you have common MySQL server. Then Windows operating system copy is same, Windows 11. Then you have process same configuration. Then you consider, yeah, write Terraform script to create such kind of missions. And whatever databases you have in MySQL, you take a backup of them and upload in each of them separately. Then you need what you need to do. You need to upload that files in S3 from S3 to EC2. You can download it and set up. Let us say 10 developers are there. If you have 10 developers will have their own databases. You will take backup for developer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. Then when the EC2s are created commonly, you're giving allocation to each developer with IAM ID. Then when I'm giving the access, before that, you need to set up the database. Let us say one developer is working with Java application, another guy is working with Python, other person is working with Perl script, then fourth person is working with the .NET. Then the .NET guy might have MySQL or MongoDB or something like that, different. Okay. Then you see that configuration also. You have to write the script. See here, instead of doing migration from on-premises to cloud, if you get the specifications of the common services, then you can create such kind of setup with Terraform scripts.
Okay.
It's faster, right?
Yes. True. Terraform.
Just you modify the template. That's it. You can run it. It is going to create it. Let us say 10 EC2s need to be created with common setup. Yes. After that, what you are going to do? You're going to work for developer 1 separately, developer 2 separately. Then code snippets need to be modified for their requirements by accessing that particular EC2. Okay.
Yeah.
So again, database migration purpose, Snowball, we use it. Snowball is a slow process. You need to send the backup of the files to AWS data center, and from there they'll upload the database. Into S3, from S3, you need to retrieve the data. That is all laborious process. Instead of that, you use backup and try to upload into S3. There is a upload process is there for large files. Even through that, you can do that. Okay. Use AWS tools such as AWS Lambda and Amazon API Gateway to create APIs and connect legacy systems to the cloud. Basically, what happens? The Lambda function is useful to work like interface also. You can write JSON script, Python script, you can use Lambda function to connect to those applications and pull the data also. Okay. So next issue 7, lack of clear DevOps strategy and goals. Develop a clear DevOps strategy and goals that are aligned with the organization business objectives. Let us say one project is there. That project people want to convert into DevOps. Now what happens? You are supposed to identify the configurations of their projects. I mean, hardware, software configuration, not physical configuration. Office. Okay. Then you are getting the specifications like in the earlier issue, all the specifications. Then you are planning how it can be done. You are going to write that as a strategy. That's all. Simple. Okay. Communicate the strategy and goals to the team members and ensure that they understand their roles and responsibilities. So basically, each guy what he's doing, you need to segregate the roles, responsibilities. You need to divide the work basically among the people. So insufficient planning and preparation before implementation. So if you are not planned here, the strategies and plans, then obviously this issue is going to come up because you didn't plan. Without planning, you can't do anything. So develop a comprehensive plans that outline the steps required for the DevOps implementation. Use the AWS well-architected framework to design a scalable and efficient architecture that meets organization needs. So whatever the project needs are there, you need to identify and define that. What about the architecture and the required resources, required role people on the project, all those things. Okay. Also conduct a proof of concept to test and validate DevOps implementation before full-scale deployment. So basically what happens, you are creating a mock drill. When you do mock drill, you have to execute your Terraform scripts and create the setup and work on the deployments, how the pipeline is working, and you have to test it for different roles. Okay, different roles means from developer level to up to deployment in production.
Different
Testing all those cycles. Okay. Insufficient use of AWS tools and technologies. Optimize the use of AWS tools and technologies by learning best practices and using automation tools such as AWS CloudFormation, OpsWorks, AWS Code Pipeline. Basically, CloudFormation is made for automation. OpsWorks is made for deployments, basically operations, deployment operations. Code Pipeline is used for deployment process. Implement a continuous improvement process to identify and resolve any inefficiencies. Basically, once you implement the code pipeline, you are running that. When you run on that, you can use OpsWorks to take care of the deployments, or automated deployments can happen through code pipeline. Either way. Okay. Right. Limited communication and collaboration between development and IT operations. Encourage communication and collaboration between development and IT operations teams by using DevOps practices such as continuous integration, continuous delivery. Also use tools such as AWS Code Commit, AWS Code Deploy to enable collaboration between developers and operations. You know what processes we need to use in DevOps. First thing, you need to have connection with the developers for migration of the code. After that, you are going to create the repository. After creating repository, you are migrating the code either from GitHub or somewhere they might have code. Then once it is done, you are going to work with the deploy code. Okay, build code and after that deploy code. Am I right?
Yes. Once.
So these tasks you need to plan it, and each activity or task wise you need to communicate to the concerned teams. So concerned means developers, QA team, users, sustainable. Okay. Then inadequate security and compliance measures. So use AWS security services such as AWS Identity Access Management, AWS Certificate Manager, Key Management Services to enhance security and compliance measures. Basically, what happens? IAM you are using to control the services interface for the user, restricting the users, because you will not give all services access to the user, right? So you are going to identify that user's role. According to the role, you are going to distribute the services access. Then AWS Certificate Manager is you are going to give authentication and permission to access particular services. Like you have DNS usage for website URLs, such kind of things, or IP addresses, all those things. So then key management services, you know, for accessing EC2 itself, you need to have key. So key you are going to access it. The same way, other services also they are available. Like S3 can use it key management in some of the options. For even for ODS also, you can protect the data with key management. Is that right? All those things. Okay. So also implement DevSecOps practices to integrate security and compliance into the DevOps process. Basically, development, security and operations together need to work. Okay. Then 12th issue is issues with cloud automation and process automation. Use automation tools such as AWS CloudFormation, AWS OpsWorks, and AWS Code Pipeline. Automate cloud infrastructure and process automation. You have done them in the past. These kind of things in your projects. Yes, the same thing should be used it for best practices. So also use the AWS console and command line interface to manage them. Okay, basically CLI can be used it in the offline, provided if you have ID. Okay, for CLI purpose. Then issue 13 is difficulty defining and implementing service level agreement. So what is this actual service level agreements are? You are tying up with vendor AWS and you are getting particular resources with particular prices with particular duration. Those all will come under service level agreements. So here what happens? The solution to this issue is to involve stakeholders in defining SLAs. Stakeholders, why they need to come? Because they are the people hosting the budget. They are the people spending the money for their business infrastructure. Okay. So including our IT operations, development teams, and customers or end users, they are the stakeholders. The SLA should be realistic, measurable, and measurable and enforceable. Regularly review and update SLA to ensure they remain relevant. It means when you are changing the environment, you need to update it, obviously. The environment changing means if your architecture might change, your setup might change.
Yeah.
Obviously, SLAs will change on particular architecture. So that need to be coordinated with many people in the project. Okay. Next, 14th issue, inadequate capacity planning and management. The solution to this issue is to regularly monitor and analyze system performance and usage patterns. Use this information to forecast capacity requirements. Use automation tools to quickly provision resources when needed and to deprovision resources when they are no longer required. Basically, what happens? If you use the scripts automatically, there will be destroy options, there will be planning options. Using them, you can manage the resources. You can destroy the environments also. Because manually, if you want to do, it is a tedious job for huge set of
Yes.
So if you use Terraform or JSON script to destroy the environment, yes, obviously you can remove stacks in cloud formation. In Terraform, you can destroy the plants, whatever you created it. Okay, the entire setup. Let us say I'll tell one example. There is a PHP application they are deploying. So developer will do testing in a cloud environment. For him, separate VPC need to be there, separate setup need to be there. Once he has done all those things, what he is supposed to do? He need to destroy the environment because you don't need to continue the environment. Next cycle is QA testing. Now QA testing need to set up the environment. You are giving the scripts to him. Then that people are going to run that script and see environment is built. Once it is ready, deployment happens within the script. Once the deployment happens, they'll see the website URL and check it. Then they go for testing cycles. Then once they are done, they are certified it, they can destroy the environment. Then next one is users. Users will have UAT environment. You need to create that through the scripts for them. Then once they have done it, you are going to destroy it. The final existing environment is live. The live environment, you are using the existing scripts on the existing environments. You are updating the environment basically. Updating is nothing but your code is deployed for changes. Those changes, if any databases are updated or any new features are updated or any new RDS databases are made, all those you need to track the changes. Then you need to update the script. Then you need to apply the updated script in Terraform. What is the command you are going to use it? In Terraform, if you have updated environment, need to apply it. What are the steps?
So with the variables, Terraform update hyphen some variable.
Now let us say a new server added in the private network subnet, and in database they use another new database. So what are the updates you are supposed to do in the existing Terraform script?
So there need to be one more resource, code snippet.
Yeah, on what areas?
The database, right?
Yeah, I told the requirement, right? It check the requirement and plan it. What is your plan to update the environment for script?
That RDS database I need to update.
You need to update the RDS code snippet for new database edition. Then you need to write one more code snippet for easy.
The existing,
Simple.
yeah.
Simple. That's all right. So what you are doing now for update command? What is there in Terraform? How are you going to update environment? There are commands, right? Terraform commands.
Terraform, yeah.
So what you are going to do there?
So Terraform update and that name hyphen updated.
The command is Terraform update is the command, or
Yes, same Terraform update and remaining is
updated script, latest script.
yeah, that name, file name. Yeah.
Okay, that's where you are going to do here. Okay, so to implement quickly automation, so use automation tools to quickly provision resources when needed and to deprovision resources when they are no longer required. Implement policies to control resources usage, ensure the capacity planning and management is on an ongoing process. Here, these kind of things comes under ops area for environmental updates because there is existing applications running in the live. When you are running the applications in live, your role as ops engineer, you are supposed to learn this kind of things. How to update Terraform script, how to run the updated environment, existing setup, all those things. For that, what you need to do? Are they having really the existing setup with Terraform scripts or JSON scripts? Are they really working for the existing setup only? You need to see that. What you are supposed to do, how you are going to do that. You are taking the current scripts and changing the VPC IDs, all those things, and run them for a separate environment, not on the same environment. Test them. So you have to do all those things with the old version, test the script, and build the environment and see whether it is running with the same concept, same components.
Okay.
Okay. Then you have to see it has all the components in that network. Then if it is working with website application, you need to ask the QA people to verify that for their scenarios. Is the application working? They have their own scripts. What scripts? Testing scripts, automated scripts. They'll run and see that whether really it is running. Then if it is running there, yes, you can use this for the line.
Okay.
Then use that as a baseline script. You need to update that script by adding these two components. You can't do just directly go and run the scripts without testing, without confirming yourself, because you're playing with live environment. Let us say one bank application is there, ICC Bank. Now you are the DevOps engineer. They ask you, okay, can you update the environment with these changes under deployment? What are you going to do? First, you are going to test the existing scripts. How are you going to test it? You need to change the parameters and test on different environments. Is it going to create it? Is it going to deploy the old builds? So to test the old builds, you need to know the application knowledge. Little bit you can test it by learning the application, but not completely. What you are supposed to do, you as DevOps engineer, you need to take the QA people help to test the regression testing. Regression testing is the old functionality. It is working with automated testing scripts. Those scripts are different from your Terraform. Your Terraform is working only for infrastructure building. Their scripts are working for testing process.
Okay.
Then it is ensured your environment is working correctly. Otherwise, you need to ask your lead person, are these scripts are running? Recently, you executed an environment for updates anything. Can I use them right away, or what is the plan? Because they follow in each project, they follow differently. You as a DevOps engineer directly can't run them on the existing environments. It screws up if script has got issues. Let us say you have a two-tier architecture with WordPress site. You used RDS. You automated with Terraform script. The old POC is there, which is not having RDS for the same outputs to their architecture. Now let us say your lead guide tool, you use this script, it works. Now the old script has got without RDS. The existing script has got RDS, but without seeing the script, without reading the script, you executed it. What happens? It is going to create without RDS WordPress deployment. Is it correct?
Yes, so it will not
So
work.
that is the mistake you are doing. So you should not do that kind of things. You have to test script in a separate VPC, not on the same setup, and confirm it as it is working. For testing the application, you will take your help. Okay. Next one. Limited availability of AWS developers and engineers. It is common everywhere. The solution to this issue is to invest in training and development programs to create a pool of internal resources that can support the DevOps process, partner with AWS or other third-party providers to augment internal capabilities when necessary. Consider using freelancers, consultants to fill short-term skill gaps. This is your project manager or solution architect issue where resources support is required more. That is all management issue basically. Okay. Inefficient cloud resources allocation. Inefficient means they're not competent. The solution to these issues regularly monitor and analyze cloud resources usage patterns and optimize allocation based on usage patterns. Use automation tools to allocate resources dynamically and to deprovision resources. Okay. So one need to monitor. That is also responsibilities of solution architect. Difficult identifying and prioritizing high impact issues. So what are these? The solution to this issue is to implement effective monitoring and alerting mechanism to quickly identify issues and prioritize them based on their impact. Let us say in monitoring, they will be using tools like Splunk, other tools are there. Okay, and as your such kind of tools. You in your project you need to identify are they using any other tool, third party tools, which is connected to the AWS. Then those tools will give alerts. Alerts means if one side is not working, if one initiative is not working, such kind of things can be alerted by that tool.
Yes.
So like CloudWatch. CloudWatch many people they are not using, but they are using Splunk or some other tools, monitoring tools. Those tools will come under operations role for ops engineer. Ops engineer, one of the responsibilities are to work with monitoring tools also.
So the third party. Yeah.
Third party tools. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Now limited monitoring tracking capabilities. Solution to this issue is to implement comprehensive monitoring and tracking mechanism to ensure the system performance can be effectively measured and analyzed. That's where if you want to use the tools, you need to implement the monitoring practices for tracking each resource. See, one is with auto scaling, you can track it. With CloudWatch, you can track it. Apart from that, from outside Splunk tool is there, through that also you can track it. Okay.
You can monitor on.
Okay. Limited availability of third-party tools and applications. The solution to this issue is to evaluate and select third-party tools and applications that meet business requirements and are compatible with the DevOps process. Basically, if you are working with third-party tools, you need to see whether they fit for your environment also, technology related, all those things. You can't directly take, oh, that tool is very good, I want to use it. If you want to use it, it is not possible to use it in all projects. You have to see the requirement, environmental needs also, project planning also, deployment schedules also, all those things. Okay. Difficulty implementing DevOps in hybrid and multi-cloud environments. The solution to these issues to carefully plan and design the DevOps process to account for the unique challenges of hybrid and multi-cloud environment. Let us say if one company has got 3 cloud services, AWS,
Hmm.
GCP. Now what you need, the solution architect need to plan it, how it can be applied these things. In some regions, they will say, for these applications, you use Azure. For some applications, they'll say you use AWS in this region because of the passive infrastructure cost. That time, project varies. That's the reason they need multi-cloud resources who has exposure with AWS and Azure. There, you will be able to catch up the issues and fix the issues. Okay.
Yes.
Right. Use automation tools to manage the complexity of these environments and ensure that all tools and processes are compatible. It means you are using, if it is Azure, you are using ARM templates and Terraform. If it is GCP, GCP has got its own templates. Okay, automation templates, resource templates. Those can be used. If it is AWS, you know cloud formation. Across these 3 services, Terraform is the common tool.
Yes.
Okay, but you can't use the same scripts across cloud services. Each cloud service has got its own code snippets.
Different.
Logic can be used. Sequencing of the resources can be used. So it means the common design steps you need to have for deploying one application on multi-cloud area. And after that, you need to see in each cloud area what resources can be plugged in. Let us say you want to upload file into AWS cloud using S3. From S3, you are going to download it easy. But in Azure, what are you going to do? How are you going to use this process? Can you tell me the steps? You need to use blob, right? For uploading file to get the URL.
For storage, Azure blob.
Storage blob. After that, you need to download that file in the VM virtual machine. Then that virtual machine needs to be attached to the VPC, right? Network, basically.
Network part.
Then after that, you are going to use the database services. Under database services, if it is MySQL, you are going to deploy, set up the MySQL server.
The VNet config.
Right? In Azure. Right?
Yes.
After that, what you are going to do? You are going to connect that to particular website front end web application. So web apps, you have used it to deploy the Apache or PHP application through the web apps.
And the front app service.
Right. All these are different from each service. So AWS Panda is different, infrastructure Panda and Azure is different, GCP is different. But logic is same. I need my architecture to run like 2-tier setup with data services of that particular cloud without spending much time on the database. Okay, as an independent server or something. And then after that, I need to keep running my sites. Let us say in US, I want to run my site with Azure. In APAC, Asia Pac, I want to run my site with AWS. In European countries, I want to run with GCP. That is a requirement. How are we going to do? First, you need to see architecture of the application. In the architecture, what kind of resources are there? Physical, hardware, software resources. You need to list them. You need to write the design plan. How this architecture can be designed in a common setup one. Okay, when you go to AWS, what are the AWS operational design steps? Infrastructure operational design steps. You will write it. Then when it goes to Azure, you are going to write. When you go to GCP, you are going to write them as cloud engineer or DevOps engineer. Then after that, how you are going to deploy. Deployment process is different. The activities are same. Everywhere code repository, migration, code deploy, code pipeline, all those will come. But the process implementation with each cloud service is different.
Yes.
Okay, so you need to scale up in the multi-cloud deployment environment. Then you need to see what are the resources required in that cloud environment and what are the code snippets required. Then how to automate them for deployment.
Based on the application.
Planning. Okay, so complexity in deployment and release management. These are also similar one actually. Okay, all processes are gaps. Okay, so the solution to this issue is to implement standardized deployment and release management process that are repeated and automated. Use version control tools to manage source code and configuration files. Basically, Git unit usage. Okay. Use automation tools to build and test software packages and deploy them to production environment. Yes, these are the things. Okay. Now, limited availability of necessary hardware and software. This need to be solved with IT operations people in the project. Okay. So the solution to this issue is regularly assess the hardware and software requirements and ensure the necessary resources are available. How you are going to get changes in hardware and software? In one website, they started with small work. It's 2 tabs. Then later on, they are going to increase 3 tabs. Afterwards, they are going to increase into multi-tab. 10 tabs they are going to add. So it means every time when they are deploying applications for changes, they are adding new components. When they are adding new components, if it is a multi-cloud environment, you need to update all of your scripts, all of your design plans, all of your design steps related to that cloud.
Okay.
Okay. Limited availability of third-party tools applications can limit the ability to organizations to fully leverage the benefits of cloud computing. Yeah, third-party tools. So we discussed in the earlier example, monitoring tools can be there. You might use some other tools also. Depends on the testing applications, all those things. Okay. So complex deployment and release management process. Here, DevOps people need to use CI/CD pipelines. So we discussed that also, the similar issue. Difficulty defining and implementing service level agreements. Yes. The difficulty why it is coming is coordination need to be there, and other things what they are looking for need to be updated. If the teams are not updating, you will not be able to get the right resources requirements. 11th one, nobody should tell in advance, they need to tell for planning purpose. Inadequate capacity planning and management. So this is also one of the management process defects. Okay. Here what they say, to address this issue, a DevOps team can use tools like AWS CloudWatch or AWS Autoscaling to monitor resources utilization and automatically adjust capacity as needed. So here the issue is inadequate capacity planning and management. So they have added more resources without planning. That is the gap. So additionally, the regularly reviewing and analyzing usage patterns can help identify opportunities for optimizing and efficiency gains. Basically, what happens? So through Autoscale, you can check it. Through CloudWatch also, you can check it. On particular VPC, what is running, what are the resources running, kind of. Okay.
Yeah.
Limited availability of AWS developers and engineers. That is the management issue, not for DevOps engineer. Inefficient cloud resource allocation. I think some of them are repeating. Okay. Okay. So what we'll do for today, we'll stop here. Then to later we'll see other